on, Cigar World? What's going on, Cigar Enthusiasts? It's your boy Jack here at Dapper D's.
It's your boy Nate the Great.
And we are the Virtual Smokedeck. Welcome to the Virtual Smokedeck podcast, where conversations feel like you're chilling in the lounge.
Here, we spark more than just cigars. We spark real conversation.
From culture and community to business, lifestyle, and stories that you won't hear anywhere else.
Every week, we sit down with the voices that matter over sticks that hit.
Welcome back to week number 2, actually episode number 2, however you want to come up with it, man. Welcome back to the Virtual Smokedeck, bro.
Hey, good to be back. Good to be back.
Absolutely, man. How's life been?
Been going well.
Yeah.
Actually, yes. Definitely going well.
Man, you got this Dolphin stuff on, I see.
Oh, yes, absolutely, absolutely. You know, I had to represent, my cousin plays down in Miami.
Okay.
For the Dolphins, wide receiver Malik Washington.
Shout out Malik Washington. Hey,
Change
yeah.
his number to number 6.
Okay.
So, yeah, be on the lookout for him.
Yeah.
Be a pass from Tua, You
know, it's funny that you're wearing that because it flows straight into what it is that we're actually doing this week. We're doing sports talk. As we said last week, Virtual Smokedeck is not just about cigars. We just happen to be smoking cigars, but it's really to bring in a bunch of other things that, we have going on in regards to, and just other topics, really.
Absolutely.
So this week we're actually, kicking up and, getting into the football spirit, right?
Yes, the greatest time of the year.
Hey, man, look. The basketball season is over with. It was great while it lasted, but, playoffs is a tremendous time.
Yes.
And, it's, but it's nothing like football, bro.
Absolutely not.
Like,
I don't know if it's just the aggression, the hard hitting, even though it's gotten a little bit softer, you know what I'm saying, with the helmet contact, things like that. I understand the safety, but, we like the whole old school gridiron.
Hey, come on, man.
Yes.
Busting heads, taking names, that's the way it goes, man.
Absolutely.
What you smoking today?
Today, a little Toro Fuente, Robusto size, but yes, Fuente.
Yeah,
even though it's not Friday, but every day is Friday.
Come on, man. Today, I'm actually smoking the Perdomo 30-year sun grown.
Okay.
Truly one of my favorite cigars, man.
Yes.
When we talked about it a little bit last week when we was in Nicaragua. Our time in Nicaragua seeing Perdomo, but they do. You remember that blind tasting thing that they have us do?
Absolutely, with the coffee and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Weren't you my partner for that?
Absolutely.
All right, that's what I figured. I'm like, wait,
you can't get rid of me, man.
Like,
I told you, man, we stuck.
I'm trying to think. I know I picked sun grown. Did you pick?
I went lighter. I was on the Connecticut side.
Yeah.
I just like the smoother draw and the pull. So a lot of times, sometimes I do like Maduro, and sometimes it's a little harder on the pull.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the blind test, I had Connecticut.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because we oftentimes pick cigars based on what it looks like and all that stuff. Kind of what we talked about last week, but like now it's when you take away the eyes and just go with the palate. It's funny what your palate tell you, man.
Yes, I think it's just more or less. Yeah, like I was saying, the intake of it was nice, good draw, and I went there.
Mm-hmm.
I was there.
First segment of this evening or the day.
Okay. Ready for it?
Football.
Hey.
Football. So, who do you think is going to be the top team in the NFC this year? NFC this year.
All right, disclaimer. I told you last time, I'm a Giants fan, but I'm also a realist.
Okay.
All right, so I understand my team is not up to snuff.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But the best season for me is us beating Dallas twice.
Yeah,
that's a complete season for me.
100%.
I understand. I like the chips, but I dislike them more. So that's where it's at for me. But AFC, I mean, on the real, it hurts my soul to say, but the Eagles are there. You welcome for us, taking on,
Giving us Saquon, you know what I mean?
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
It hurt my soul watching him go, but I like seeing him do great things, man. Him winning that Super Bowl, that was awesome. Won't take that away from him. Definitely he's on the cover of Madden, the new Madden 25 this year with the jump.
Yeah.
Sorry, my Duval brethren. They try to blur y'all out a little bit, but we all know who he jumped over.
Yeah.
Sorry, but so he's definitely on the cover of that. The other team, and I think really injury got him, was Detroit. To see them healthy, that would have been a good matchup. Washington showed up out of kind of nowhere, but we saw Jaden Daniels doing his thing, but it wasn't expected. No one knew the NFC East championship game would be from the NFC East Conference.
You said it right. You said it right. The NFC championship being an NFC East showdown. Yeah.
Yes. 100%. So I mean, they didn't predict that, not even Vegas, but hey, it was good. It was good watch. It was good football. 100%. It was good football.
You know, we whooped that. You know, we
tapped them.
It
was still good football.
We tapped them. We tapped them.
I got it.
55 points. You know, just.
It's enough. It's enough to talk about. We don't want the tush push. Hey man, haters gonna hate.
Hey, that boy jumped outside like 4 or 5 times in that game, man.
It was to the point they were about to do some other.
They were about to give the score.
Yes.
If he jumped again, like
yes. Nobody knew that rule existed.
No,
so that's why I said we're about to bring out a new rule. Oh man, NFL. Yes, but it's still there. The tush push is still there. Y'all save. We can talk about it. Yes.
You know.
What do you have?
I got a question for you before I go on to what my thoughts is.
Okay.
What do you think of Jalen Hurts as a quarterback?
I think he's great as a quarterback. I thought he was good even when he played with Alabama. Roll Tide from Alabama fans out there. It was kind of messed up how he ended up having to go to Oklahoma with Tua and the whole thing. But, yeah, I respect him.
You know, the reason I asked that, because if you don't know, Jack is a diehard Eagles fan, so it was the best time ever to know that the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Check.
So, you know, Super Bowl champion. Okay.
×2.
And so, but they're still talking about they literally just said the weakest part of the Eagles is the quarterback.
Wow. Like with a straight face? Like with a straight face?
Straight face. The weakness of the Eagles is the quarterback. I'm like, how? Well, actually, I take that back. They didn't say the quarterback. They said the passing game. Who's passing the ball?
Exactly.
Jalen. And if that's the case, then if that is not the case, then you're saying that Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown
are not elite wide receivers?
Are not the best duo in the NFL, which that has been proven 20 million times.
Man.
So if you're saying the passing game is the weakness, then what you're saying is that Jalen Hurts is the potential problem.
Yes. Because they're definitely not saying it's the O-line.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't say that.
Yes.
It doesn't even make sense. But the reason I ask you that is because you got like I've been hearing this thing where it's been the top 5 quarterbacks or top 4.
Okay.
It's not even the top 5. They say it's the top 4. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And it's like what do all 3 of them outside of Patrick Mahomes not have? A Super Bowl ring. So how are you going, and not to mention, I don't even believe they've been to the Super Bowl outside of Joe Burrow.
Joe did go.
Has Lamar went?
No.
Has Josh Allen been? No, because they have to go through Kansas City.
Yes.
So how is Jalen not in your top 4 when he has been to the Super Bowl
and championship game
and to the Super Bowl? Yeah. He went to the Super Bowl in 2022, lost to Patrick Mahomes, which don't even get me started on that.
Yep.
Right? He went to the NFC game.
Yep.
Right? And that was really good. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He went to the following year, took him 10-1. Now they had a bummer.
Okay.
They had a bummer. But then go back to the Super Bowl and win. And yet you still stand here and say he is not the best. He is not one of the top 4 or 5.
Because if I'm not mistaken, he has 2, right?
He has 2 what?
Super Bowl ring.
No, he has 1. But he's been twice.
Been twice, has 1. Y'all won, what was
In
that?
2017.
17.
That was with Nick Foles.
Foles, that's right.
Yeah, statue.
That's right, statue.
Yeah.
I got you.
But it's okay. But I'm okay with that.
Well, yeah. But he's still been there more than
100%.
what you're saying. Other than Patrick Mahomes, we give him his props. I got you. Shout out to the coach, but yeah. So okay.
So my answer for who is the top team in the NFC?
NFC.
Um,
Without being biased.
It's Philadelphia Eagles.
Please don't spell it.
EAGLES Eagles. No, for real. Like I truly believe.
Yes.
This is my 100% opinion. I truly believe that Jaden Daniels is going to go through a sophomore slump. The same one that C.J. Stroud went through.
Yes.
It's not going to be
even that.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's not going to be as bad. I don't think it's going to be as bad because I think they have capitalized on, building a little bit more around him. Mm-hmm. But do you think Jaden Daniels is an elite quarterback, or you think he's just a young quarterback that happens to have a lot of juice in it?
Elite. I think he's an elite quarterback. It's just time because he sees the game differently.
He needs time. He's running for his life.
Yeah.
When you can run for your life,
you're kind of okay. You can still get a first down.
100%.
You're still getting positive yards. So
there's so much growing he has to do. And now what the part that's going to hurt him, now we have teams with footage on him.
Yeah.
We know what side he likes to run to.
Yes.
We know what makes him tick when the pocket is collapsing, what he does.
Yes. The twitches, the little small things. Sports science.
So I truly believe that it's going to be the Eagles. The Eagles is the team to beat, and I think closely behind them is Detroit.
Okay.
But I'm going to throw a little curveball in there.
Ooh.
Throw a little curveball in there. I also think the Rams can be up there too.
The Rams. Yeah.
Like
they recently went to the Super Bowl recently.
They did go to the Super Bowl. I think they played Kansas City in 2023. Yeah. And they went to the playoffs last year, so they're not a sleeper team. You can't. Sean McVay is doing great things over there.
Yeah, Hubert over there.
Yeah, Justin Hubert. I think the Rams could be up there too. I do not think that San Francisco is going to be anything worth talking about.
True that. Sorry, Mel. You know what I mean? I'm a guy.
I know y'all just signed Brock Purdy to all that money.
Mel, P-Rod, Big T, Tavoris. They're all a little sad. I hear you say that, but it is what it is.
So switching gears,
okay.
Who do you think is going to be the top team in the AFC?
All right, well, bias, I want Miami to win. You know what I'm saying? Woo woo. Go ahead, fam. But AFC,
there's some.
Hey, I like Baltimore, man. Shout out to my boy PJ. Hey, and Lamar we trust is what he like to say. Baltimore, it's there. It's just like they're right there, kind of like the curl that just didn't quite curl. But they're coming. They're coming as far as AFC. You never count out Kansas City. I mean, it's them plus the refs. So NFL can't find me. They're not paying me. They can't find me. So you playing, you have the 12th man, 12, 13, 14 person on the field with them. Somehow, some way, Kansas City just it gets in there.
That is real.
And so yeah, you can't count them out. And Buffalo, Hey, that Buffalo Bills Mafia, it's real.
Yeah.
It's real. You can jump through a whole table. Yeah, you're a different kind of fan. You're a different kind of fan. So, yeah, that's what. Those are the ones that I have. What about you? What are you sitting on over there?
One, I think I found this newfound love or hate for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, I can see that.
I think personally, those two teams that you mentioned, Baltimore and the Bills, has the potential. But like Patrick Mahomes got something on them. I don't know what it is, because the way the Bills beat the Chiefs prior to the NFC Championship was not the Bills that showed up.
Yeah.
In the AFC
when it
game.
counts.
When it counts.
It's almost like the old school, like switching it like Tiger Woods. You know, back in the day, Tiger, hey, that back nine, nobody wanted to. Oh man, I got to play with him, like, and then they would crumble.
Right.
Tiger don't play a tournament, then they win. It's like, come on, what's the deal? So maybe he just has that oomph on him that, I mean, can't do it. Even y'all GOAT, Tom Brady just couldn't beat the Giants in the Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Go Big Blue.
Eli Manning, sorry, so.
Call it what you want. Call it what you want. Tom Brady ain't never beat him in the Super Bowl.
That's real. Tom Brady got beat by Nick Foles too.
Hey, it's just the NFC East
Yeah,
thing.
it's just,
He can't
get
get past us.
I ain't gonna say that because he beat us in 2005.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
In Jacksonville, actually.
I remember that.
In Jacksonville.
I was stationed here in Jacksonville.
Yeah. When the Super Bowl came to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You know what? Speaking of Jacksonville, right? That's an AFC team that, being in Jacksonville, we see all the publicity on Travis Hunter, and how everybody's excited about him.
Yeah, OTAs are going good for him. Even both sides of the ball, defensive coaches are like, woo,
playing phenomenal. You know what I mean? But it's going to be interesting to see how the Jaguars do. I don't.
Go ahead and drink on that one. So you can stay politically.
So my new my new AFC team.
Yes.
Is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, I root for. Hey, we pay taxes here, so why not, right?
I'm helping rebuild the stadium. Okay.
All right.
My taxes is helping rebuild the stadium.
Hey, facts.
So that's got to be my team. What I'm telling you is,
shout out
Duval. I just don't know.
Well, I mean,
I just don't know.
I'm here for the show. How about that?
I'm
here for it.
I am too.
I'm here for it.
I hope, for business purposes,
let's talk about it.
They do good.
Let's talk about it. Yes.
But to get back to our question, my AFC team, I think it's going to be, my top AFC team is probably going to be, I'm going to give it to Lamar.
Trust.
I would say a close second. I will go in agreement with you. Will be the Bills.
Buffalo, yeah.
Now this team, I'm going to say next, has potential.
Oh, brother.
And they're also in the same division, if I'm not mistaken, as Kansas City. The Denver Broncos.
Oh.
Denver Broncos can very much so be a problem. Now, they was a sleeper last year.
Yep.
And a lot of it is because they're in Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs division.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, they was in the wild card games. I think the Broncos can surprise us.
Ooh.
Bo Nix balled out, but then again, Bo Nix can also have a sophomore slump like Jaden Daniels.
I'll be ready for it.
That's a game to watch.
Okay, you got the wheels turning a little.
Who
bit.
do you think is going to be the worst team in the NFL? Who do you think is going to have that number one draft pick this year?
Oh, New Orleans Saints, and they did it to themselves. They should have picked Shador, but they didn't. They slept on it, and then the whammy was Carr not coming back and retire. Got him, coach. Hey.
Even with Kellen Moore?
Yeah, no. And then
Them boys got Spencer Rattler.
and even Aaron Rodgers said he wasn't gonna play there. Might have been a good thing, could have been a bad thing. However, yeah, that's my pick. I think it's gonna be New Orleans Saints.
That's interesting.
Coming for the number 1 spot.
That's interesting. You know what? Even though I had time to think about this, that's still hard. I think a team that really hasn't truly found their identity is New England.
Oh, they're number 2. That's my second one.
New England.
Yeah.
I wanted to say the Raiders, but I think the Raiders and Ashton Jetty.
Yeah.
He gonna be cold.
Yes.
He gonna be cold. They I don't know, man. With fantasy around the corner, it's gonna be hard. I think he's gonna go in the top 5 running backs. Top 5 running backs. Because off the jump, if I got the opportunity, I'm picking Saquon. Last year I messed up and I picked CeeDee Lamb.
Oh man.
Or was it? I picked McCaffrey first. McCaffrey first, and he
got you.
Yeah.
Falling for the banana in the tailpipe. He got you. Cigar experience, step into Dapper D Cigars. With premium cigars, unmatched vibes, and exceptional service come together.
Whether you're a seasoned aficionado or just getting started, our humidor is fully stocked with the best brands throughout the world.
And our team is here to help you find your perfect smoke.
Kick back in our upscale cigar lounge, enjoy a drink, catch the game, chop it up with good company.
Hosting events, private parties, or just a place to unwind, Dapper D's is the spot.
With 2 locations in Jacksonville, stop by today to enjoy the experience at Dapper D Cigars. Gears.
All right. Yep.
We're going into our conversation for today, and that is, what is the ideal starter must-haves?
Starter must-haves.
And when we say starters, we're talking about cigars.
Okay.
Talking about cigar starter packs.
Yep.
Something that must have, man.
I definitely take this one. To my hands. All right, so must have 101. Can't smoke without no lighter. Good torch. Single, dual, 3, quad band. Hey, you got to have the torch. Must have. Why are you smoking? You don't have no lighter.
Now, as we talk, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, we have it. It's right here. Found in all Dapper D's locations. You know what I'm saying? Good lighter right here. Even has a cigar rest on here at the top. Sometimes you're doing things how, like right now, I just set my cigar down. So my cigar being set down, I could have just put it right here, but I had to show you what we're working with, right?
Now, in regards to lighters, is there any, do you think you need to go, again, as a starter, do you need something more expensive? Do you need something, how would you dictate if, what kind of good lighter you're getting?
Not all the time. I've had some good throwaways that, I take with me when I travel, because you taking this lighter when I'm traveling, I'm a little hurt.
Yeah.
I'm sick. But I had a few not as expensive lighters, just fine. They're just torches. But I like to look for if they have little extras, like I said, the rest, how they hold butane. Some of them go out, couple usages, and man, I'm already out. So if you have a good tank for your butane, look forward to that. Every now and then, if you can get one with the little cheat code window to see your butane, that's kind of cool too. Yes, there are high-end ones, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're better.
Right.
The high-end ones are sometimes more status.
Yeah.
So definitely lighter. All right. Then then cutter. Your preference. I do a V cut. Definitely like the V cut.
Nice Calibri V cut.
Yes.
One thing about the V cuts, you do have cheaper ones. like some of the plastic ones or something like that.
Yes.
Now you do want to make sure that you're getting a deep V. Those little surface V's.
Yes.
Those aren't really V cuts. Like you want a good surface deep V cut if you're gonna go V cut.
Deep.
If you're gonna go straight cut,
See that.
as he's about to say.
Yeah. So the V, keep it deep. All right. Moving on.
And we actually sell a very inexpensive V cut that still gives you a deep V. It's a rubberized one that's really nice.
Yes. So if you don't do the V, another one would be a straight cut.
Yeah.
I know a lot of folks like the straight cut. Definitely a straight cut. All right. There's two different types of the straight cuts. So you have the one with the actual protective, so you kind of don't go too deep. Then you also have, when you're
Full blown
guillotine.
that could chop off your finger if you let it.
Yes. Please be safe. Don't do this at home. But it's also good to, even if you don't use a V cut, to actually have a straight cut with you, because it's times that you might not finish your cigar, or you're moving to somewhere else. You can cut your cigar and then pick up once you get home or your next destination.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
that actually helps as well. And to have a larger gauge straight cut does the trick.
Yeah.
So I definitely have it. So I recommend either some type of cutter, however you want to go, and a lighter. Also, we have a punch. We have the punch. You got a large one. This one right here I have. You have the smaller one. Shout out to Kev hooking me up with the actual punch. And then it also has a poker in here, so you can hold your cigar at the end or loosen up the tobacco. This is not the you must have, but it's good to have in your arsenal. And that's just another way of cutting your cigar or enjoying your cigar.
And Dapper D just put out an amazing video talking about the different cutters, the different cuts that you can that we offer, as well that you can use to help explain, a little bit more in detail what those cutters are good for.
And how, yes, definitely because they have the percentages of how much pull you want or smoke goes in that you're intaking. All right, but yes, definitely lighter, cutter, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
That is definitely what you need. Starter kit 101.
What about cigars?
Cigars.
You gotta have cigars.
Well, definitely that. I thought that was a given,
Like,
But,
so for a starter, I mean, do you recommend them going in and grabbing a full blown Maduro for their first time?
That's not for the weak at heart.
Yeah.
That is definitely not for the weak at heart. My recommendation would start light. I would definitely do like a Connecticut wrap. Nice, light, bright. The good one is the Perdermo 10-year champagne.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's an excellent smoke. Kind of best bang for your buck. It's definitely a good price point for that one.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend that for kind of intro.
Yeah.
I know some people like the flavored cigar with a flavor with it. Typically like the Fat Bottom Betty's, the new Drew Estate La Dominicana just released. So that's another flavored type of cigar.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are more the lighter smokes that can be enjoyed.
Now, in regards to like humidors and stuff like that, are you suggesting that the starter have a humidor, or do you think that they should probably figure out what they like first?
I mean, figuring out what you like not necessarily will stop you from getting a humidor. Maybe even if you have a travel size, smaller one, and then you figure you get the desktop one and then move up to stand up, whatever the case may be. Definitely a travel one is decent. I know you guys who sell it, Dapper D sells it. But they do, you can get them in 5, 10, 15, 20 and above as far as having storage for them. And then I would recommend because it's a science to some of it, like seasoning the boxes or whatnot, I would just recommend putting the Bovita pack in there, with the percentage in there, roughly between 62-72%. So any of those packages, I think they sell 62, 65, 69, and 72.
And then
yes.
you can go higher up for 84s for seasoning purposes.
Yes, things like that. So recommend it, and it's
Mess free.
Nice, quick and dirty, mess free. Just throw the pack in there. When it starts to get hard like cardboard, toss it out, put a new one in.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's safe to say some of the ideal must-haves is a cutter, a good cutter, regardless of which one you like. A good lighter,
Yes.
Regardless of how many ports you want. Maybe a single pour, a double. Excuse me, a single, a double, or a triple or quad flame.
Yes.
Obviously, cigars, cigar humidors is very beneficial because you want to be able to carry your cigars and you want your stuff to be properly humidified and utilized, stored. So when it is time to actually smoke the cigar, you don't have to worry about dryness or anything like that. One of my biggest things that I would recommend too is also starting off with a four pack, something that has a humidified pack in it, or going to a cigar lounge or a retail shop that actually can teach you what to smoke, how to smoke, go through all of those things, and also help you pick out those ideal must-haves as well. So you don't need to go and spend a bunch of money trying to figure it out. Go somewhere that can actually help you. Dapper D's is a great spot if you're in Jacksonville, or even shopping online. We can definitely help you out with that. But if you don't want to go online and you don't live in Jacksonville, go to a great retail partners throughout the United States and in the world that can help you figure that out, man. But there's a bunch of options to actually choose from.
What you don't want is to waste your expensive cigars or your money
100%.
by having it dry out.
100%.
Yes, due to transportation or transporting it.
Yeah. Talked about the ideal must-haves. What is one of the biggest mistakes that you see most beginner smokers make?
Oh, I go back to, I'll tell you one. I go back to the cutters, right? So when you're actually cutting your cigar, if you kind of don't know what you're doing, it's good kind of to have the one with the safety in the back. You see how you can't see the perfect cut. You can't see through it. It's just right there. It blocks it. Perfect cut. This way it guillotines or cuts the cigar without cutting too much of the cap, right? Which is the tip of the cigar. Now, if you're good and you know what you're doing, the guillotine is fine. As you can see, it goes right through, and so there's definitely room for error if you don't know what you're doing. And then cutting too deep will remove or cut off the cap of your cigar, and then after that, then it starts unraveling. A lot more tobacco because you're into the filler, and it's coming, and you're trying to spit out all the tobacco that's sitting in your mouth. So yeah, definitely, I've definitely noticed that when people are cutting using a straight cut, not using the perfect cut, or just straight guillotine, straight cut, is one of them.
Well, definitely that, and what he was saying in regards to like cutting it down. If you use the guillotine, the bigger ring gauge that goes all the way down on the cigar, you can cut past the actual cap of a cigar. If you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely recommend going to look that up on the internet. Again, we have videos on that on our social media platforms of cutting, the proper way to cut. But you can also look that up on YouTube as well. But making sure that you don't go past the cap, because if you go past the cap, now your cigar is going to unravel. One of my biggest things is people shopping without truly knowing what they want, and it's wasting money. A lot of times we don't know what our palates actually what our palates actually expect, right? So you may go in there and you're shopping, or you're getting caught up in what a tobacconist trying to sell you something, and now you're smoking product that you necessarily don't need to be smoking, as within your first 5. I remember one of my first cigars I ever smoked was La Gloria Cubana Maduro, and I was like, wow, what is this? And I'm actually surprised I even went back because it was so disgusting.
Yeah.
Just simply due to the fact my palate wasn't there yet. It was too strong. So, and then the first time, the real first time I started smoking, I had a judge, and man,
My father.
Yeah, my father judged, and I actually inhaled it. So I remember coughing up a whole lung, man. Not literally, but literally figuratively.
Yes.
It hurt so bad. So that's another mistake that I see happens all the time. You take it on, and you inhale it, right? Man, we actually had a group of maybe college students, freshly graduated college students, come in one day, and they were passing around a cigar as if it was a blunt. Cigars are not meant to be shared, right? Cigars are for your person. It's just like cocktails. You don't buy one cocktail to share with the group. You know what I mean? You buy one cocktail to drink. You buy one cigar to smoke for yourself.
Yes.
So those are a couple things that I think a lot of beginner smokers make mistakes on.
What you don't know, you don't know.
What you don't know, you don't know. That's why going to a store is very important, right?
Reputable.
We have gotten to a point in society where a lot of things is on demand, and we can just get cigars sent to us and all that stuff. But going to the right shop that educates is very important. There's a website that you can go to, and I put the link in the bio below, called Tobacconist University, and you can go and look up all the stores that actually have tobacconists in them, and go to one of those. Those are stores that take pride in making sure that our their tobacconists know what they're talking about and all that. Back with another segment.
Yes.
That I believe is kind of a fan favorite.
Yes.
Rapid smoke. So rapid smoke is when we'll go through a category, and we ask each other a question, and you get an insight of what we believe. This week our topic is what, Nate?
Whiskey, whiskey, bourbon whiskey, all in there. Yes, and you are on the rapid smoke hot seat this week.
I'm on a hot seat.
Hey,
let's get it.
Yes, all right. So let's go. All right. So
now, are we talking neat, or are we talking cocktail, or are we just talking neat? What we talking?
I'm talking how you like it.
Okay.
However you
pause.
Need.
No Diddy.
More like Pac. How do you want it?
Okay.
All right. So let's go with Buffalo Trace or Uncle Nearest.
Uncle Nearest.
Uncle Nearest. Okay. So Uncle Nearest or Woodford. Okay. Woodford or Blanton's. All right. Blanton's or Redbreast.
Blanton's.
All right. Blanton's or Whistle Pig 10.
Now we talking straight regular Blanton's?
Blanton Gold. I mean, I know you have all the above, so
they are different. And okay.
And you do have the Whistle Pig 10.
I do.
Yes.
I have Boss Hog too.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The Whistle Pig Boss Hog 10.
You want to go Boss Hog 10?
Boss Hog 10.
Oh, Boss Hog 10.
Okay, that's what we're talking about. Boss Hog.
Boss Hog
all right.
10. Boss Hog.
So or the Boss Hog or Bardstown.
So Bardstown is one of my actual favorite whiskey brands.
Okay.
It's actually owned by Heaven Hill.
Okay.
And it's some very unique stories into Bardstown and why Bardstown is even a thing. If you don't know, go look it up. Because Bardstown has an amazing story of how it became an integral part of the whiskey, American whiskey business and bourbon business. So I'm going to go. Now, Boss Hog is a top tier.
It is a top tier.
So I'm going to imagine that we're going Bardstown top tier.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Maybe the Chateau de la Lune.
I'm gonna go with Bar Sound.
Oh,
Bar Sound.
Bar Sound for the
Bar
win.
Sound.
Okay.
Bar Sound.
Wow. All right. I can see this. I can see this.
Bar Sound.
I'm kind of there with you. Well, yeah, so because like the Blands and the Uncle would have made it down to the bottom for myself, but yeah, okay.
Okay, see,
We'll test
and
it out.
the thing about whiskeys is so hard because it's like you have so many. It's like
It is
it's
a lot.
like it's like
Talking about tequila.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like or even talking about like Perdomo Champagne and Perdomo Habano. You know what I mean? It's like or Perdomo Champagne versus Monte Cristo White. It's like
They're both there.
yes, you know it gets
It's
real
almost
hard.
on your own palate and your own
100%.
preference.
You know, now, what I would say, bourbon wise, one of my biggest recommendations, I know this is not part of it.
Okay.
One of my biggest recommendations, one of the things I wish I would have known before collecting
People want to hear it.
is find you a good bar that has a lot of these things or a lot of beverages that you want to try on the shelf and go taste them.
Hey, get a flight.
Yeah, flight, or you know, if it's a $25 pour, $50 pour, before you go out and spend $700 on a bottle or $600 on a bottle or something like that, you know how to what it tastes like.
Taste it. Yeah.
100%, because I got a couple in my section where I was shopping based on looks, and I got it. I was like, what in the is this?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
it's very important to do.
And I understand that because, like, I'm not a big rye fan, so I wasn't paying attention about a bottle that said person had their name on it, and I was like, oh, I should try this, and didn't realize it was a rye. Yeah.
Burned.
I gave the bottle away. It's no longer in the collection, but hey, it happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just pay attention to detail, like they like to say, right?
And finding those good bars, man, is hard too, because you're expecting them to care about bourbon selections. A lot of bars don't care about selecting. Like, you got a lot more whiskey bars coming up nowadays. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I get one in the town center, but yeah, that has a bunch of bourbons in there.
Yeah, whiskey cakes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cakes, yeah.
but even like you can go like in Jacksonville, Palm Valley,
Okay.
Julep, and these people have whatever it is that you're looking for. New, old, doesn't matter. Rare, non-rare. You can go in there and try Parker's. You can go in there and try Blade and Bow. You can go in there and try, Whistle Pig. You can go in there and try Boss Hog, E.H. Taylor, small batches. You can go and try it all in those. And that is important.
That is good. Yes.
We come to our fun. I truly, one of my favorite parts is our cheers moment. So we're going with the Barstown, and this is something simple. One of their lower proof. Actually, it's a 106 proof. It's a 53% alcohol value. But this is more of their easy to find bourbons. It's called the Origin Series, and how they operate. And again, that's why I love Barstown. They have a couple series that they do, where it'll be Origin Series, Discovery Series, Fusion Series, all of that. So, cheers is a time for us to be able to enjoy a drink. We're able to pour it, sip it, and kind of reflect on it and how it goes based off our cigars that we're smoking. Right there. And so, one thing I like to do is check the legs of it, and the legs is just how does it spill off. So you're gonna see that line. You're gonna see a line around it, and you want to see how they run. If they're really runny lines, like this one is very tight, which means that one, it's a higher proof, and also means that it's going to be a really good bourbon. Now, if it starts running quickly, it's a very watery one. But you're not here for the education part. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Got that nice burn on the back end.
Definitely does.
You can feel the proof. You can feel the proof.
Yeah, that 106 hit. Okay.
And then with the cigar, it complements very well.
I think I went out. Got to have your trusty tools.
Really good bourbon. So if you haven't tried Bar Sound, definitely go try Bar Sound. They're popping up everywhere. I don't even think they're a smaller company anymore. Again, like I said, it's a subsidiary of Heaven's Hill. So with that being said, if you're new to the Virtual Smokedeck, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and give us a huge thumbs up. We appreciate you guys so much. We drop a new video every Wednesday at 12 p.m. So make sure you click that notification bell so you get updated on when we drop. With that being said, I'm Jack the Cigar Enthusiast.
Nate the Great.
And we are the Virtual Smokedeck. Until next time, we are gone.